And we're back with Lobby Concessionals, the movie podcast where nobody's right and everybody's wrong. I'm Parker, and that's Brendon. Check us out on our socials, on YouTube, on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts. I'm not going to do the whole rigmarole again.
Just check the bottom.
There's a bunch of links.
There's a whole bunch of shit.
So check them out. Today we are taking a look at some bad Reddit takes.
My favorite.
I have gone and sifted through the morons on Reddit, and I have found something of particular note that I think is stupid, and then I'm going to surprise Brendon with it. And we'll see if there's a worthwhile discussion to be had here. If there's not, good, you won't hear it. And if there is, then you'll hear it on YouTube. Alrighty. Today,
Oh boy.
this moron says, for context, this is about Robert Pattinson.
Oh man.
I have to say that because he refers to him exclusively as Robert, which I felt was weird, and I just wanted to make sure we knew. So this gentleman says, sorry, that's wrong of me to assume that all the morons on the internet are male. It's probably true. Women, you're still good in my books. But my gender is the worst.
We're brutal.
Yeah. Robert tries too hard to be this deep indie actor. I know he's trying hard to shake off that Twilight stink. He wants to be taken seriously as an actor, but he is trying too hard. He needs to relax and take it easy before he slips into Shia LaBeouf territory. So, honestly, I felt like some of this was reasonable. And then as soon as he compares it to Shia LaBeouf, I lose it. You know, I'm like, okay, I can maybe see where you're coming from. And then it just seems totally out of left field to me.
Fuck. We're 10 years removed from those Twilight movies now, right?
We are. And for the record, I have gathered some of these bad Reddit takes over a little bit of time. Like, this didn't happen yesterday.
Yeah.
But it's like all of this is 2022.
Right.
So it's, this year at the very least. So I think this person posted this before the Batman.
Okay.
So for context. But I don't think it has anything to do with the indie stuff.
But I bet he's probably a big fan now, as everybody all of a sudden is.
Yeah. No kidding. So as we always do with this, is this a bad take? Like, clearly I think it is. I've picked it.
Yeah. Absolutely, it's a terrible take. And I'm trying not to be livid about it. Because I very much am tired of people thinking that he's spent his 10 years trying to run away from Twilight.
Yeah.
I think that's a weird assumption. Just because you haven't watched literally any of his movies doesn't mean he hasn't made movies. I don't understand.
Well, and so I don't personally have as much of an issue with the running away from Twilight thing, because sure. I think that it's pretty common knowledge that he wasn't happy about that role.
No.
He took the role because he was trying to make it as an actor. And so it ended up becoming big, and he became a household name because of it. But even while he was making those movies, he tried to make other films so that he wouldn't be typecast.
Sure.
So I don't know if it's that he's necessarily running away from Twilight, more that he's wants to be an actor and doesn't want to just make sparkly vampire movies. Right. So granted, when those movies were done, I don't know how much more sparkly vampire opportunities there were for him, but being typecast is a thing. So, he could have been shoved into that role. But I did look it up, and he actually makes Cosmopolis before the last Twilight movie is released.
Oh, that's interesting.
There's another movie.
I thought it was after for sure.
No, they're the same year.
Okay.
So, but at least from a release point of view, Cosmopolis comes out before Breaking Dawn Part 2.
Okay.
He also makes, first of all, he's in Harry Potter. So and then on top of that, he makes Remember Me, which is a weird, forgettable romance film.
Sure.
I believe it came out. I didn't actually write this one down. I believe it's 2008. Might have been 2009. But in the middle of Twilight. So it's like he's got like 2 Twilight movies out, maybe. Okay. He makes Remember Me, which, spoiler for a movie that no one remembers. But the big twist at the end is it just inexplicably becomes about 9/11. Yeah, he just dies in the World Trade Center.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's just this forgettable romance
until it's not.
And he's just dead.
Does he do Water for Elephants after? Is that an after Twilight?
That is during as well.
That's
Water
also
for
during.
Elephants is not one I wrote down, but it is 2011, I believe.
2011.
So that, for context, Breaking Dawn Part 2 comes out in 2012. Part 1 comes out in 2011.
Explain to me what you think the Shia LaBeouf shot is.
Okay. I do not know because oh my god. The thing is, Shia starts in. Oh my god. I keep wanting to say Home Alone, and I know it's not Home Alone. Malcolm in the Middle?
No, that's Freddie Muniz.
Damn it.
He.
What is it called?
It's the. I know what you're talking about. Too.
Even Stevens?
Yeah, Even Stevens.
There
that's
we go.
Right. And Holes,
Good.
I think, or something like that.
God.
Right? Yeah.
Couldn't figure it out. So he starts out, family-friendly TV show.
Yeah.
And then he basically starts making blockbusters. Like, when he grows up, he was in a few family-friendly comedies, is like Disney adjacent or literally Disney. I think, oh man, I might be thinking Frankie Muniz again.
You're Cody Banks, aren't you?
No, I wasn't actually. No, I was thinking Big Fat Liar or something with Paul Giamatti.
Oh, yeah, that's Frankie Muniz.
Damn it. Anyway, so he basically does family-friendly stuff, and then he transitions to blockbusters. Like, I remember him being in, I think it's called Eagle Eye.
Yeah.
Which I didn't mind, but I was like 14, so
yeah,
I didn't know anything.
You could have just said Transformers. We know what you're talking about.
Oh, Transformers! Damn it!
Shut her down, folks.
I should have been more prepared for this episode.
We should have been talking about Frankie Muniz.
Oh my god, man! So much Frankie Muniz popping out of my brain. So I don't see the career progression at all. Like, it's not the same.
You don't think the success of Even Stevens rivals that of the phenomena that is Twilight?
Yeah. So like at the very least, Robert Pattinson wasn't ever making anything that was truly family friendly. Like Twilight is for teenagers, but not family friendly. Like it's not meant for everyone to sit down and be like, oh, let's just watch Twilight together, not like Even Stevens. And then beyond
feel sorry for the family you grew up in.
But beyond that, even, then Robert Pattinson never really transitions to blockbusters either. Like the career progression isn't the same at all.
No.
Now, granted, Shia eventually turns to indie flicks, but I think that's because
he's problematic on a big studio.
Absolutely, the studio doesn't want him around.
Yeah.
And basically, an indie flick is like, well, he has name recognition. Like, people know who this dude is, so we can get him for $10,000. Yeah. So it's not the same. While Robert Pattinson very clearly is making movies because he wants to be an artist.
Is Tenet the first blockbuster? Post Twilight? I can't think of anything else right now.
Probably, yeah. Like, he's in a couple that could... Yeah. Like... Sorry, yes, definitely the first blockbuster. Yeah. There's a few that are quite popular that he's in, but that's not a blockbuster. So yeah,
he still waits 8 years to make a blockbuster.
Correct. And in between there, so the few I have written down, I've got Cosmopolis in 2012, The Rover in 2014. So that's an A24 film. I love The Rover, so watch it. It's got Guy Pearce. Awesome.
Done.
Incredible. Yeah, so that one's dope. He was in Maps to the Stars, which is crap. It's not. I don't think it's Cronenberg. It's the other guy.
Lynch?
I think it's Lynch. Yeah. David Lynch. And it's bad. I didn't like it. I saw it at a film festival.
Surprise! You hated David Lynch.
The guy needs to tone it down. It also has the distinction of having the worst fire effect I've ever seen in a movie. Like, bar none. Incredible. It's so bad. And it's on Julianne Moore. Like, she is burning. And I'm like, what? Why? You could have just left her hair red and it would have looked better than this.
Wow. There's a lot of strong opinions about this fire.
Anyway, I'm just saying, it's really bad. Lost City of Z.
Oh, that's a good one. He's great in that.
Good Time.
Okay,
Another big one.
Yeah. That's a big one for him.
Yeah, and then The Lighthouse is probably his biggest in terms of the indie flicks.
Yeah.
But I get it. He does do a lot of the indie flicks. But, man, first of all, why the comparison to Shia LaBeouf? Anyway, I'm going to try and actually defend this guy because that's what I'm supposed to be doing.
No, this one's on you. This one's not happening.
You're just not going to do it.
Well, I just don't see it.
Okay.
I think I'll quickly say why, and then you can attempt to defend him.
Do it.
I think he's more than put out enough content, without honestly going on a path of destruction about Twilight. You know, like it's well known he wasn't a fan of those movies or being in those movies, but it's not like he spent 10 years absolutely shitting on them at every chance he got. You know.
I've seen some clips.
I just doesn't feel like it doesn't feel like it's the majority of his actual character or his persona.
He's definitely not burning bridges like Ezra Miller.
That's
Man, I hope whenever we release this episode, that's still topical.
yeah. I hope Ezra's burned real bridges. So I don't see him doing that, and I don't. It just feels like he's a dude that just wants to make movies, you know? And it just happens that, you know, he knows that if he's in any kind of a big studio production, it'll probably be a rom-com because he's been pigeonholed as a good-looking dude that may or may not know how to act because those movies exactly weren't an exercise in acting.
Yeah.
So I think there's a smartness about it, of how he did it. And then the Shia LaBeouf thing is absolutely asinine to me. I have no idea.
Yeah. I don't think it's
like that to me feels like a guy, not Shy, the bad Reddit guy, whoever this idiot is.
Yeah.
Watched 3 Shia LaBeouf movies and decided he knows exactly his career trajectory.
Yeah. He watched Honey Boy and the Peanut Butter Falcon and was like, there we go.
Yeah, he went from like Crystal Skull to Honey Boy, and it was like, man, he tried real hard with that indie shit.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to try and defend it.
No. Yeah, you can.
So, Robert was known just for Twilight. So it was important for him to shake that off. So what he did is he went and was immediately in gross films. So
what does that mean?
Well, like, I mean, he was literally gross in films.
Okay.
So like in The Rover, it's a post-apocalypse film, and he's just dirty and gross the whole time. He's like malnourished.
Are you saying he?
So I'm saying he used to be hot, and then he was like, you know what I'm gonna do? Make myself gross.
No, are you literally saying he went out of his way to be unsparkly?
Like I'm not literally saying that, but yes. You know, like I'm just saying he very clearly went as far away from those sparkly vampire films as he could.
Okay.
So like that was an intentional decision.
Okay.
Like Cosmopolis, maybe he's not gross in it, but he's not sparkly. So I'm just saying, you know, this moron on Reddit might have some good points.
Your defense of these things are getting worse and worse every time.
The problem is that I spend 5 to 10 minutes saying what an idiot this person is, and then I have to flip. And I'm never prepared for the flip, even though I literally did research.
Why don't you start with the flip?
That's probably a good idea.
To be fair, we've done a couple of these now, obviously. This is the first time where I've actually been stumped because I don't know how to defend that.
I see there being an offense because he very clearly goes as far away as possible from those Twilight films. Like, he does immediately submerge himself in indie films. What's the next popular studio film he does after Twilight?
It's the Shia thing. I think the Shia thing tanks any kind of credibility this takes.
Yeah, it does. It really does. Is the problem?
Yeah. So like, I think. If you had just read up to that point, I think this would be a proper discussion.
Well, no, but then it's not a bad Reddit take.
That's not a bad Reddit
take. That's a defensible argument. And ultimately, these shouldn't be defensible.
Yeah, but I don't know. I like the idea of defending them.
Oh, I like the idea, too. That's why
you're
I'm
so bad
at
it. So, to me, like, I think... this is dumb. The Shia thing bothers me so much because it takes something that is an actual conversation and throws his credibility right out the window. So now I can't. So if I feel like now if I defend him, I have no credibility. Yeah, and I don't have that much to begin with.
Yeah,
let me be fair.
I totally agree because I think the thing is that I know Robert Pattinson is at least a good actor.
Yeah.
I may not agree with every role he picks, but like he has still. I do not know that about Shia. I truly don't. I have seen him in things, and I've never really seen him in things where I'm like, man, you are really putting the work in here.
Are you sure you watched Eagle Eye?
Incredible. Yeah, dude, I just. The other thing is I just don't see Shia going to the lengths in the depths that Robert Pattinson does. Like
like growing a hobo beard, isn't it?
Yeah, man. But like there's a weird masturbation scene, multiple weird masturbation scenes in the lighthouse. I just don't see Shia LaBeouf doing that, you know?
Yeah, but he doesn't do it on film.
I was going to say, do it.
Okay, here's what I'll do.
He doesn't get paid to do it.
Let me flip the question slightly,
where
we can actually have a conversation. Is there a different way to do it? Is there a different way to be in a franchise or a phenomenon like Twilight and to shake it off properly? Is there a proper route to take?
You could do the Hayden Christensen and just completely quit acting
for 20 years.
Yeah. That's one way. Apparently he owns a farm.
That makes sense.
But he doesn't do any farming on it.
That also makes a lot of sense.
So you could do that. That's also the Rupert Grint way, where he still like enjoys being associated with Harry Potter. But he owns an ice cream truck. And
I'll say something controversial. Rupert wasn't exactly going to be the guy coming out of Harry Potter.
That is not controversial.
no, like, and I want to be nice about it, but it's one of those things where when I think of the question I'm asking,
yeah,
it's like Robert Pattinson, a very attractive man, trying to shed an image so that he can be a legitimate actor. Even Daniel Radcliffe, a decently attractive man, trying to shed the...
Yeah, but like...
Rupert Grint was not going to be anybody but a Weasley.
No. The comparison there, the Harry Potter comparison is you look at Robert Pattinson, a confirmed good actor, trying to shed an image. The parallel there, as far as I'm concerned, is Emma Watson. Because I still am not confirmed that Daniel Radcliffe is a good actor.
That's fair.
As far as I'm concerned.
Have we figured that out with Emma Watson?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
I think she is confirmed a good actor. Bling Ring.
Okay.
You know, like
Perks. I like Perks.
Yeah. Well, Perks is great.
Yeah. I mean, that Beauty and the Beast movie sets her back like fucking...
I don't know if it's... It's set her back as an actress.
I don't know.
No, I disagree.
Okay.
Like, granted, it takes exactly zero acting skill to look at Dan Stevens and fall in love. So, you know, but it doesn't actively take away from her still either. I'm just saying. Okay. Back to your question, though.
Yeah.
I think you're right there's really no. Well, who has done it? Who's gotten out of a blockbuster?
I have 2 examples.
Okay, hit me.
Heath Ledger.
Okay, but he died.
He did. Is that the root?
No. Okay, hold on.
Second guy, Chris Evans.
Okay. We haven't seen him shake it though. In fairness,
But the thing is, like, but you can see him try to shake it. Like, I don't. Maybe the question isn't like the success of it, the levels of success of actually being able to shake it.
sure.
But you can tell it's a thing he's actively trying to do.
I think the difference there is that Chris Evans was actively happy to be Captain America, while
Well, no,
Robert Pattinson
I
was-
mean, I've been pre Captain America as a teen heartthrob trying to. That little switch.
Yeah. Well, but the difference is there as well, though, is that Chris Evans doesn't hit the same popularity that Robert Pattinson does. Like, what we need is someone that is popular for a single franchise, that explodes for a single franchise. Because you're right, Chris Evans is a good example, but Chris Evans is a good example because of Captain America.
Yeah.
And as you've mentioned, he had like a 20-year career before that. So, like, he was an established name prior to that. So it doesn't quite work. People are okay with him being in other things because he was already in other things before Captain America.
I don't know why we have not thought about the absolute obvious one.
Okay.
It's fucking Kristen Stewart.
Yeah, but she did the same thing.
But she did, but people don't give her shit for it.
Yeah, because she's a bad actor.
Oh, I don't know about that. This is where the subjectivity comes in. I think she has shown that she can be really, really good.
You're a big Charlie's Angels guy, huh?
I see how that turned around on me.
Yeah.
Real quick.
Yeah.
She's good at other stuff.
She
And we're
my wife told me Spencer was bad, so
and it feels like we're at the point where people have stopped talking about her as if she was in Twilight still, because she's maybe a little bit more prolific. Her output has been more, and she's had bigger movies as well.
I don't know if her output been more. I would
feels like
argue
it
Robert Pattinson has done far more.
It just feels like she's been in a lot of stuff.
I think what she did is she dropped off the map after Twilight.
Didn't she do like Adventureland like right after?
I think she did Adventureland during. It could have been right after, but like
Yeah.
a point where it was like probably filming at the same time,
Right.
You know. But I don't think she does much for a few years there. So her method of coping is do Twilight, disappear for 4 years, come back to acting.
So we don't have any kind of bar then, because you'd have to find something similar to Twilight to be able to measure this properly.
Yeah, like so.
And so that's Harry Potter.
The closest thing is Harry Potter. Yeah,
And that's just
basically
it's just not happening.
It's not. Like, again, I would argue that Emma Watson does a better job escaping that, but she hasn't escaped it. She literally went to, what school did she go to? Cambridge? Harvard? She went to Harvard, I think.
I don't want to say the wrong thing because your wife's just going to absolutely rip us apart.
Yeah. And people, like, she literally stopped going to Harvard because every time she answered a question in class, people would be like, 10 points to Gryffindor, you know, like, she can't escape it anywhere. So,
Yeah. But she hasn't done enough to try to get out of there. Like to try to escape that.
yeah.
Right? Like,
Natalie Portman. So she is an actress, sure. She is in things.
Thanks.
But then she's in Star Wars, and that's supposed to make her career blow up. That's what people know her from.
Okay.
And then after that, she does V for Vendetta.
Yeah.
What's the next
right
thing?
after that.
I don't think it's right after. I think there's a few years.
No, I think V for Vendetta is like 2005, 2006.
Huh. I agree to disagree.
Because like Black Swan's what, like 2009, 2010?
2011.
11? That
Pretty
late?
sure. Pretty sure. Pretty sure. Might be 2010. Might be 2010.
She never
When is Revenge of the Sith? Is 2005, right?
2005.
Yeah. So she basically disappears for a few years. That's what happens. Women have to disappear. That's the way it works. No, not in general. Shut up, Brendon. I'm just saying.
Ezra.
But I'm just saying. I can't come back from this. Like, this is.
No, I get what you mean, though. But at the end of the day, Star Wars is a phenomenon, yes, number one. But, I think you kind of have to take a look at the size of that. Like,
what about Mark Hamill?
oh, no.
Or Carrie Fisher? What did they do after?
Well, Mark Hamill got into that car accident.
Yeah, and then he was just unemployable.
Yeah, and he was like, "Oh, you can only be ugly Luke Skywalker now."
And what about Carrie Fisher?
Drugs.
Oh, so that was just her career then, huh?
Yeah, I mean, she does because ends up pivoting to like
drugs
and books and writing and all that stuff. Harrison Ford.
Yeah, but he's like.
Oh, hold on. There's something to be said about Harrison Ford.
Hold up.
There's
Yeah,
something here.
yeah.
And if this is right, this becomes the blueprint.
Harrison Ford is the blueprint.
Right?
Yeah.
Star Wars, Indiana Jones, and he films those 6 in the span of, I think it was like 8 years or something, something like that. And then he goes on a tear. I mean, I think we talked about this in our Tom Cruise episode.
Gotta mention him. Gotta get one of those in there.
And
gotta get those Scientology bucks.
And I think I said that Harrison Ford might be the only guy that might have been close to the run that Tom Cruise had.
Sure.
He just didn't sustain it for as long. But I think he does a whole bunch of stuff in the middle that aren't exactly blockbusters, but he had things like Witness and Mosquito Coast, all in the 80s, all really good movies. Working Girl.
Sure.
You're looking at me like...
Oh, I know the movies you're talking about, but I cannot name Harrison Ford filmography right now, so...
regarding Henry, so he does all of this stuff, and it's never...
You could put any title out there, and I'd just nod. You know, like...
Yeah, it might be Harrison Ford, man.
Okay, what were we trying to get at here, though? What was the point of this?
Is there a real way of doing it? Like this guy's.
If Robert Pattinson did it wrong,
yeah, what's the right way?
What's the right way? And so, what's the right way? Just keep making banger after banger, like, because that's kind of a bad recipe. We can't be like, Robert, what you should have done is just made good movies, and be like, the doy.
Just be like Harrison Ford, dumbass.
Yeah,
I don't know that there's
good life advice.
And to be fair, maybe that's why this is a bad Reddit take, because I don't know that there's another way of doing it. What is he supposed to do? Not make movies anymore? It's obvious that he wants to make movies because he loves them.
Yeah.
So what is he going to do? He's going to keep making blockbuster movies when they're not exactly lining up at his door for him. Like, I don't recall him turning down or stories of him being offered big roles.
Yeah.
You know? And it's not like, I don't think anybody from that cast got offered. Like, when we talked about Kristen Stewart earlier, like, whether or not she's a good or bad actress, she was only in things like Adventureland and whatnot before.
Now, you keep coming back to that one movie, huh?
I just can't think of anything else right now. Like, I know
Adventureland and Charlie's Angels.
No, there's a whole bunch of other stuff too, man.
Spencer.
No, there's stuff. There's stuff.
Oh, I'm sure there's other things.
Just feels like
but
she's
none of them are memorable.
No, but that's the thing, right? And look at the werewolf dude in that movie. He is. I think he's in Valentine's Day, and that's it.
Oh, you mean Taylor Lautner?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, but he had a career beforehand. He was Shark Boy.
Oh, he was.
Yeah. No, I'm kidding. Mainly, like, that wasn't a career. He was in one movie.
Yeah, that's a good movie though.
I've not seen it.
Yeah, I like those movies.
Get out.
Yeah, the Shark Boy and Lava Girl movies. They're great.
Movies? There's multiple?
Yeah.
Oh my god. No, we need to end this episode. This needs to end.
So it's a bad Reddit take because it's literally indefensible and there's no real way of doing it.
Okay. But I still win.
Win what?